God.
Now, get ready for the hottest podcast coming out of Dallas, Texas, with Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. Stars talking Cowboys. Let's go!
Yo, here we go again, back up on the scene. Stars talking Cowboys, you know what I mean. The podcast repping everything with silver and blue. Keeping it real, that's what they do. Let me tell you about the crew. Sean Fox spitting facts, K Boogie's giving game. Nikki's got the stats, so of course she covers everything. It's showtime, so let's get to the biz. And that Stars talking Cowboys, yeah, you know what time it is.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on? It's
Oh,
draft
nothing
week,
much.
baby. It's draft week, baby.
It's draft week and it's playoff basketball. You know, I don't watch NBA until the playoffs. And so with that being said, we are watching them
Indiana.
Pacers.
I'm watching them too. It's a blowout. It's a blowout.
Yeah. The end of that game on Saturday was had some little fireworks to it, and at the beginning of this game had a little bit of fireworks to it.
They rivals,
But that's
though,
what,
you know?
yeah. I think they said they done played 17 times in the last 2 years. So, but that's why I don't watch the NBA until now, because these games mean something. You know, up until then, you got players sitting out. You got players, what they call them, quality time, timeouts, rest.
Load management.
Yeah.
Load management, quality time.
what I call a quality timeout.
Quality time. Yo, that's funny. Oh, shoot. Quality time.
Yeah.
How's that going?
So yeah, man. You know, like I said, that's why I don't watch the playoffs until I don't watch basketball till now.
Right.
But let's you know, we're here today to talk about the draft, but you know us, we always got to talk about, you know, other stuff that that happens in the world of sports. Let's talk about this Shannon Sharp stuff. Club Shay Shay.
I don't know what's wrong with Shay Shay. I mean, I barely was been paying attention because I've been dealing with a lot of the stuff with the tariffs. So, you know, I have an inkling of what's going on here and there. My only thing is, dude, why are you going after a 20-year-old? She's 20 years old. That's my issue is a 20-year-old. Is the age difference. She's 20. She's a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. I'm like, come on, man. You are a Hall of Famer. You're a professional athlete. Why? She's 20 years old. That's all I want to know. Why? Can I ask you why? She's 20 years old.
Well,
I have cousins that age.
Well, you play with fire, you tend to get burnt, you know. And this is one of them times that, you know, granted, you know, he has receipts on, you know, on his side on, you know, what he allegedly did or didn't do. But that's just, you know, that's just the way of the world now, man. The way of the world is it's all about that easy money. And
yeah, I guess
you get that easy money by trying to blackmail somebody or and the thing of it is, I think Shay is the wrong person to do that to, because he gives 0 F's, you know, about trying to hide what he done did or what he just look what he did when he put out his little Instagram. You can't call it a sex tape. Yeah,
with Michelle.
Can't call it a sex tape. What was it? A sex audio?
Oh Lord! Hey, didn't he try to pay her off though earlier by giving her $11 million by trying to shut her up?
No, they would. I read that they was trying to settle. They was trying to settle it for $10 million, and he didn't.
He said no.
He said no to it. That's what I read, you know. But you know, you don't know. you don't know who's doing what.
I'm just surprised because she's a young girl. She's young.
Yeah.
She's just young. That's my thing. When him doing that, she's just young. Like, dude, what are you doing? Why? Why? That's my thing. You can have all these women out here. Why her? She's 20 years old.
Well, because he wants to prove that them what is he promoting? Rose, hymns. I don't even know which one it
He said
is.
hymns, bro. You wanna prove they work?
Yeah.
That's bad, but that's bad. You're on to somebody else, not her.
Well, you want to prove that he still got it, bro.
Okay. I can't call it, man. I can't. There's no way in hell. 20? I guess if it was the other way around, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel. You know what I'm saying? Because, growing up, you tend to love the Cougars, but it just seems like it's different when it's the other way around. It just seems different to me.
Well, I get what you're saying. I 100% get what you're saying. But, in today's society, they say that, you know, 40s is the new 30s, the 50s is the new 40s, and all this stuff. So I would tend to think that he is trying to, prove that he still got it. And
Yeah,
like I
but
said, what better way of you still got it by promoting your, hymns, rose, whatever he's on.
I don't know. You do that with women at
So
least
with
in their
that being
30s.
said,
Damn, not 20s. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
sorry, I have some technical difficulty. There we go.
It's all good.
With that being said, hey Nikki.
What's up, Nick? Look like you work.
You quiet on the Shay front. You on mute too, so it is what it is. I mean, but the thing of it is, he said he got receipts. He came straight out and didn't deny that he had something going on with the little young lady. But the thing of it is why put yourself in that predicament? Like you said, Kenyatta. Young
And she
girls,
recorded it.
they're only out for one thing.
Oh man, that's crazy. I don't understand. He should have protected themselves. He should have did the Derek Jeter. Any girl he messed with, they have an NDA. That's it. You have an NDA. Leave your phone in a secret compartment with security. That's it. Allegedly, I should say allegedly, he used to do that. Allegedly. What's up, Fox? He must still be having some technical difficulties. Nick, what's up? Let me see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. I just can't see you. Now I can see you.
I don't know. This stuff is acting funny today.
Is it
Oh,
maybe the Wi-Fi connection
I don't know
or
because we
the
never
platform?
had, yeah, we never had this issue though. So so you say I'm here. So
Go
you
ahead.
say hold on one second, Kenyatta.
What's up, man? You back?
I think I am back. I am having some technical difficulties here. I had to come up here on my phone here.
Yeah, I think Nikki's having some technical difficulties as well.
So, uh, looks like, bro, we might have to try this tomorrow. Unless Nikki's okay. You okay over there, Nikki?
Yeah, she's just on mute.
I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
I'm good.
Well, I'm going to try to maneuver through this because on my laptop, I got to use my phone right now because my laptop is.
Charging?
No, it told me that
Oh, it
I'm
blocked it.
using I'm using Windows 8.1. That I had to
Really?
pull I had to pull out a old dinosaur laptop bigger
Uh-uh.
than it's
Not the
bigger than my
not the
desktop at work.
not the dinosaur laptop.
Oh, shit, I might want to take these off.
He said the dinosaur. Jurassic Park. That's what we
Oh no,
doing.
I couldn't get the virtual bath screen to work. I'm like my little workstation I tore up. But anyway, um, so yeah, we're talking about the Shannon. I mean, yeah, the Shannon Sharp, right?
Fiasco.
You know, I don't think it's so much about the age, because you know, we're in a new age, we're in a new world now. So I don't think it's about so much of the age. I think it's about the fact that um she all of a sudden, demanding or saying you want this type of money, 50 million, and you basically said that every time y'all got together, it was consensual. So consensual can't be rape. And if you're saying that um he telling you certain things that he want from you and certain things that he wants you to do or needs you to do, and you abiding by him, I mean, you agree to it. So, you know, obviously this is someone Shannon has been he been messing with for a while. Obviously he felt like he knew her. Obviously he felt like they were, you know, cool with the label or cool with what they were doing. But for me, what's more, hi Alice, thank you for joining us. Um, for me, what I feel is more intriguing on this is that the attorney that's representing her,
Busby.
that's that's what has drawn attention. That's what drew the most attention from me was the fact that it was Busby that was once again in some type of scandal with women, that's going up against high powered men. Um, of course, Busby is the man that basically took Deshaun Watson down and ran him out of Houston, made him make a decision to leave Houston. Um, he's also the attorney that tries to take Jay-Z down. Jay-Z just had the power and the money that it wasn't gonna happen. Um, He's also the attorney that's dealing with all these hundreds and fifty of cases that he so say he have with uh Puff Daddy. Um, at some point, when are they gonna say we're gonna take a look at him? At some point, when are they gonna say we need to launch an investigation on him, on what he's doing, how he's handling things. Hey, Natalie, how he is the culprit in all of this. You know, um, that's more intriguing to me with this story is that Tony Busby is yet again the attorney that's trying to take down a powerful celebrity, athlete. It's like anything negative against the athlete. It's like, what makes you the attorney that they have to always go to?
Because it's a money grab.
I
That's
wonder if she
it.
was a plant. I wonder if they planted her. Because Shannon may have a type. You know what I'm saying? They could have planted her to start dating Shannon. And all of a sudden now she wants $50 million.
But it's from what it reads and says is that this been going on between him and her. So I can't necessarily say she a plant, but I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how did my main question would be, how did she even get in contact with Tony Busby? How did he become our equation into this? Because he is the attorney that's been doing the most.
Hey, he has high profile clients, I guess, just like when Johnny Cochran back in the day was really popular amongst rappers and whoever else. So I guess he's their
But
version
Johnny
of Johnny
Cochran
Cochran.
he wasn't like this type of attorney to try to always destroy someone's character and, you know, aiming for big amounts of money from these people. It's just kind of funny to me that every time a case or situation like this arrives, his name is attached to it now.
He's a gangster. That's what gangsters do. He's a lawyer that's a gangster who wants to actually implicate everybody and get money. That's exactly how gangsters roll. Allegedly. Let me say allegedly, but that's what he portrays, like being a gangster. That's what he's doing. And it's high powered black men too that he's going after, which is crazy. He has a pattern. But it's just crazy to me. It just doesn't make sense. And she's 20. That's what I'm saying. She's 20. She's 20 years old. We don't even know her background. I just saw a picture on Instagram. They showed a picture. I'm like, she's 20? Something just is not adding up right.
Well, I didn't know the age. I just know the situation is jacked up. You know, um, I see faults on both sides. And I'm not necessarily saying that. I just see faults on both sides. You got to know that. At his age, a young lady that a lady that age, a girl that age, she's out for something, and it's money, notoriety, something. Trying to be famous. I don't. I definitely don't think it's love.
I don't think I know what he loves. It can't be.
So
He said love.
so
Oh
like I said, I
man.
see faults on both sides. You gotta look at where people are coming from these days. That's one reason why I'm glad I have the personality that I have. You know, uh, because you just can't trust everybody.
But here's the $1 million question. Where are her parents? She's 20 years old. Where are her parents? That's what I want to know and other relatives. She's 20. Shannon Sharp is 58. That's what I'm talking about. He's 58. She's 20. Where are her parents and relatives?
So if you go back to the R. Kelly situation, how many of those parents knew what was going on with R. Kelly and their kids?
True. True, but I'm just saying, man, this is like, like, what is going on in
But you
entertainment
know,
world,
even when
though?
they come, even when they, but even if even so, she R. Kelly, R. Kelly situation was maybe a tad bit different because they were young girls, they were underage girls, you know, um, and their parent now that's the true saying that the parents used them as plots and plants because until they did that all until all the money was gone. Once all the money was gone, R. Kelly couldn't give them the money they wanted and things they wanted, and that's when all this stuff just started unfolding on him. Shannon Sharp case is just Shannon Sharp situation is just a little different. She's a youngster, but she's legal.
Mm.
She's young, and she don't really have. She still should have some sort of guidance from her parents or whoever, but she's legal. So that's kind of makes the difference in this. And again,
Oh yeah.
you said that she said out of her own mouth and her statement that it was consensual and they would schedule times that she would need to meet him and be there. So if you knew what you were going for, why did you go? Why did you still go? Who schedules their own rapes? Can
Call
you say
girls. I mean, not rapes, but they
so? We
schedule
scheduling
time.
rape, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we're gonna say rapes because that's what she's claiming. So if this man was raping you, why are you going back? Why are you going back on scheduled times for him to rape you? Like make it make sense. Make it make sense. But that's what they get. They always, yep.
The big black baby.
But they get. That's what they get. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that all black women I don't act a fool and don't cut a fool. And black women don't do some of the same things that's being done. I'm not saying that at all. But we are highly unlikely to do it. We're highly unlikely to do it. Do you for
Hmm?
once think never mind. Yeah.
Anthony Edwards might have something to say about
I,
that.
I was just
Yeah,
about to
that's why
bring
I
his
said
name up.
Something to say
I said it's
about
not.
that.
That's why I
The
said. I said,
baby.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not that it's just them, and it's not because black women do it too. Anthony, and Anthony, he going through it right now, but I still say Anthony case is a little different. It's a little different. You went in a situation with someone probably knowing she was a money plot, knowing she was trying to make some, knowing she was a money plot. That for God crying sake, that's her first baby daddy is the baby. So that already should be a note on her forehead that says, "I look for stars. I look for money." That should already be there. Um,
Yeah, you talking about Anthony? I mean, Ant.
Yeah, Ant Man.
Yeah,
Movie
yeah,
star.
isn't she like in her mid 30s or something?
yeah.
Yeah,
She in
she
her mid
is.
thirties.
She
Yeah,
had
she in her
two
mid 30s, and
kids.
he was. But look at Dre Michelle. Dre Michelle
Yeah,
just had a
her
baby with
too.
an old boy from Houston Rockets, and he 20 what one, and she 39 for almost
I used to be her
40.
babysitter. I mean,
He
I
her
used to be
son.
his babysitter.
He the same age with her oldest son.
I
The
know.
same age with her oldest son. And then she got with the kids with Orlando Scandrick. Then she tried
Yep.
to sue Tyrod Taylor for his own house. I mean, that's common. Some of these women are common sense, are common sense. Stay away from. I'm gonna stay away from.
Man, these men have
Yeah,
egos, though. See, that's the thing. If you and also
man.
too, if you're not
I
really
could
used
give
to
a.
women, that happens a lot. When you're not used to dating pretty women, that happens. You could be a sucker like that and not understand they like the money and not really you, and that's part of the problem.
Well, they gonna pay for it. They gonna keep
Mm.
paying for it. Ant Man, he in a bad situation because he is, regardless of how much child support you pay her up front, whatever. It's terrible, and it's a terrible look on him. He gave her money to have an abortion. He should have known she wasn't gonna have no damn abortion when he gave her the money. If you
Mm.
really wanted her to have one and you wanted to know that it was done, you should have went with one. Should have went with her. Two, you should have hired somebody to go with her. Three, you could have just prevented all of it altogether
Yeah, we know.
and used protection, or just don't f with her. Period.
No, they get seduced. These women know how to seduce some of these men, and because they know how to seduce these men, these young boys, especially young boys that don't know any better, they fall into traps.
Well,
Somebody need to be talking to these cats.
like I said, they need mentors. But can you just actually I'll sit here and say that they were seduced? No, I don't think all of them were seduced. I think they used their names, they used their titles, they used their positions and who they are and what they did, how popular they were. They used that as well to get what they want to pull someone. Then when something like this happened, all the chips fall. So I just want to
Um,
know if the girl that was Shannon Sharp, was that the girl on the video? I mean, was that the girl on the recording? Was that the Michelle?
no, I don't think that was Michelle.
Cause she
Because this
carrying
one is
her,
too
her
young,
name
so
as Jane Doe.
I don't know. Well, her picture's all over, and I shared it with y'all in the chat, so it's all over uh, Instagram. So I shared it in the chat. They just posted it, so that's why I'm looking at these pictures like, are you serious, my brother? Can't be that stupid.
Snow bunnies.
Can't be that. Listen, my son is 24 years old, and he would not date a 20-year-old. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, come
I get it.
on.
I get it.
I just don't understand what he's doing. Mm-mm.
Well, lesson lesson for us men and women. Careful who you do with.
Hey, don't forget, God bless my man. Kobe went through something similar. I mean, just
Hmm.
athletes go through these things, and it's like, okay, it's like this can never happen to me. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. These women out here, they plot. You know who you are. They know how much money you make. They know what hotels you staying in. They just know a lot about you. So they have to
Right.
be smarter. They have to be smarter. I'm choosing some of these girls.
Right.
They have to be smarter. I just don't. I don't understand. I don't understand. That's a 38-year difference. That's what
Total
I'm
big difference.
sitting down like. That's 38 years. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. It is what
Not
it
our
is.
problem. We can, it was just one of the topics that I felt we needed that news. It was related to sports world. So,
Hey, I'm just glad it
um,
wasn't Jerry Jones.
I'm just glad it ain't got nothing to do with none of our players, and we out of it. We out of there for right now. Um, so I'm happy at that.
You're not the
Definitely,
only
definitely,
one.
definitely happy about that. So, um, I don't see it's the show on the page.
Which page? Because
The
Foxy
Stars
just
Talking page.
put it on. He put it on the put on his Facebook page.
It's on his what?
It
Facebook
should
page.
be. It's checked as it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
checked that it is on there. Let me see here. Yeah, there's somebody watching from our page. Yeah, like there's Kelly's on there. Kelly watches it from our page.
Kelly Cal.
So Kelly says Stefan and Cardi are
Oh,
all
I done
around the
seen
same age. Now his brother's having a kid with Bow Wow.
Future.
Future
Yeah,
baby mama.
yeah. Trayvon Diggs.
Wow.
Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, he had a baby. I mean, some of these women are very pretty, right? So sometimes in the heat of the moment, you may slip up. To be honest with you, and it happens. I get it, but when you're a professional athlete, there should never be a moment where you slip up because you have so much on the line. You have more on the line than basically anybody who's basically just working a 9 to 5 or working remote or whatever. You a professional athlete. Everybody knows how much money you make. Sometimes you just have to make better choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to,
Yep. Yep.
you know. But like Nikki
Well,
said, I'm just glad it wasn't any of the Cowboys or Jerry Jones right now because that we don't need that with the draft coming up on Thursday. We definitely don't need that.
well. Speaking of Cowboys, Nikki, what's up with Stephon Gilmore?
Mm.
Um, Nothing. He was here. He was here today. He had a conversation with with Jerry and them. He had a conversation with and as he say, his friends. He's still some of his friends here. They had conversation and things, but I don't know if anything is going to become of it because it's all gonna basically comes back to money, you know. But I feel like he may be willing to take a lot less than he was last time around because he is coming off an injury, a season that he was injured, and he just sitting there. So it's like nobody really calling for you or pulling for you. So if the team that you say you liked and you didn't want to leave to begin with, feels like, hey, I might want to bring you back in for a year, for another year deal, um, at a cheaper price, cheaper rate. I don't see why he wouldn't be opposed to doing it. I wouldn't be opposed for it. He was a great veteran on the field. He was a lot. He helped Deron Bland a lot. And from what all the guys say, he was a great locker room guy. He was a great locker room guy, you know. So I guess time will tell. I think Jerry and them is just trying to, and I'm not mad at them for it. They're doing their due diligence, and they're trying to pretty much, as the word I use is, they're trying to set the foundation for the draft because the last 2 years in the draft, we didn't have a foundation set, and we needed so many things as we do now, but because we didn't set a proper foundation, it caused us to panic in the draft, and we reached for players that we didn't have to reach for. We took players in the last 2 years that would have been there in the late second or the third. Hell, Mize might have even been there in the fourth.
Nah, I think
I'm just,
with
I mean,
Mozzie,
so,
not
um,
to cut you off, but I think the Chiefs wanted Mozzie. See, that's the thing. The Cowboys were a little afraid of the Chiefs moving up and selecting Mozzie, so that's why they had to
well,
choose Mozzie.
I would have been fine with the Chiefs getting him. I would have been perfectly fine with the Chiefs getting him. I think Mozzie got better last season, a little bit as the season went on. I think the first issue that happened with Mozzie was Dan Quinn telling him to lose weight. I think that was one of the first biggest obstacles and mistakes with him. Then only to hear from other players saying that he was having a hard time with the playbook and knowing the plays and things that just kind of like, you know, sparred me with him. Then, of course, here comes the injuries. So it just kind of puts you in a mindset of, you know, we shouldn't, I always set the foundation so you don't have to reach. So you don't have to dig through a pile to try to pull out you a best player available. It's like with Lamb. Lamb was the best player available, but he was a top best player available. Lamb wasn't supposed to be there at all. Michael Parsons wasn't supposed to be there. And the Eagles could have actually had Michael Parsons because we traded with them one spot. They went up, we went down one spot. We was right behind them. They could have took Michael Parsons, but they did a reach, and I think they took Rieger, and it didn't work out for them. Unfortunately, Michael Parsons, not unfortunately, but I'm glad we did get Michael Parsons. He worked out for us. Um, Mozzie, I know this is only his second year, but I still need to see some more improvement in him. I do. I really do. Like I said, he did better as the year went on, but to be our first round pick, I need to see some more improvement in him. Same as I feel with Tyler Gooden. Um, I
Guyton,
um he just needs
uh,
to bring. I need to
he
see
gonna be
some
all right.
more. I just need to see some more with him. I know he was a rookie this year, and I know a lot of things was unstable this year with our D line and O line, and I know a lot of things was just not the norm for us this season past. Um, but hopefully, with the new coaching staff that Brian has brought in and O line coach will help him to get to where we think he could possibly be from where we picked from being our first round pick last year. I think he have to work on those penalties. He have to work on them holding calls. And that's coaching, that's teaching, that's hand placement, feet moving, hands moving. You just gotta, I don't know. That's
But
just
don't.
my opinion. I mean, he
Let me
just
tell you about
he's
Guyton.
he's still
I'm gonna
my
tell
boo
you
though.
about
He's
him.
still
I'm gonna
my
tell
boo.
you.
He's still my not too much, Keisha. Not too much on my boo. Not too much now.
Listen, no, no, no. It's good. It's not. It's nothing bad. It's just the fact that don't forget he played right tackle in college
Right,
because the quarterback was left-handed.
right. That's
So
what I
the
was getting
hand
to.
placement is going to be a little different. Just like when Tyron Smith first played for the Cowboys, he played right tackle
Right.
before he
Mm-hmm.
actually played left tackle. So there's
Right.
a transitional period there. And so I think this year it'd be a lot better because our offensive line should be a little bit more stable than it was last year, and the coaches that they brought in are a little bit more stronger as well.
Right.
So
And that's what I'm
I
saying. It starts with coaching. So I can give him his little slack. He a rookie. He was a rookie. There was a lot going on in that line this past year, and the coaches were. I never was about the coaches. I never liked the coaching staff. For as our O
yeah.
line. Remember, we talked about that we didn't that our O line coaches were horrible. We talked about that plenty of times. Lord, I wish we could have got Philbin back. Lord, I loved him.
Well, with that being said, we
Draft
got
time, baby.
that draft coming up this weekend. Um,
Yes, Friday, Thursday is the draft
I'm Mr. I'm King trade
night.
back, to be honest with you. I think we need to trade down. If Janty or T Mac are not there, we need to trade down.
Well,
That's
I
just
don't,
me.
I, I don't think Genty gonna be there. I think the Raiders are gonna take Genty. So I think he'll be gone. T Mac is up in the air. T Mac may foul to us like Lamb fell to us. So if T Mac foul to us, I'm not moving. If he's still there and available when we're ready to pick, I'm not moving. The only person that can really hurt us with that T Mac situation is the Niners because they pick right before us. And they do need a receiver because IU is still gonna be not gonna be ready to actually start. Um,
well, I think this draft is deep in wide receivers
it
and
is.
running backs
It is.
and D line. I
It
mean, D
is.
tackles. I mean, I think that the the rankings of the players from the top 10 to probably the third round is probably very, very slim. The grades that they have on these players, I think it's very, very slim. I mean, college football now, if you're looking at programs now, like um, you're looking at some of the programs that we have going on out there, the Notre Dames, the Ohio States,
Alabama, y'all
Alabama.
playing.
These teams are really
LSU.
producing players. Yeah.
Oh Lord. No, I'm
We're
just
trying to be slick. I'm trying to be slick. Like you gonna slide Alabama
come
in
on now. You know Alabama better than LSU. Stop
on
playing. But
my boys. No sir. No sir.
whatever.
No
Whatever.
sir. No sir.
But getting back to the draft, hopefully the Cowboys can make an impact in the first 3 rounds because to me that's where basically our starters are going to
Hmm.
come from the first 3 rounds if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's
right.
why I'm team trade back. If Genty and basically T Mac are not available, then you trade down because we need a cornerback, we need a wide receiver, we need a running back, and we need a tackle.
Right. And I said that. Yeah, T Mac if T Mac and Genty gone, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have an issue with them trading down if if T Mac and Genty gone. And which I know Genty is gonna be gone. But also I have my eye on Omarion Hampton. I also have my eye on him. So I'm not gonna necessarily just say I'll trade down if Genty and T Mac gone because if Omarion Hampton is there, hey, that's a consideration to take Omarion Hampton. Um, that's a big consideration to take him.
But at 12 though,
Um,
at 12,
that's a big consideration to take Omarion. I know everybody. Let me say this. I like Genty. I love Genty. I think Genty is a generational running back. I think Genty is a great running back. But for me, just for me, I ain't asking nobody to agree with me. Hampton is that more physical around back to me. I think Hampton gives me he kind of give me Zeke vibes. Um Catch out the backfield. Um he run at you. He run hard. He run deep down. That's just me. Now, don't get me wrong. I be happy. I will take Genty with a heartbeat if he's there. But if he's not, and Omarion Hampton is still available, if and if let's say T Mac gone, but Omarion Hampton is still available. I would have a hard time not staying at 12 and taking not taking Omarion Hampton. I just would. I would just have a hard time. Because as we said, this draft is deep with wide receivers. It's deep with wide receivers. And what we lacked
mm,
and what we seen this last season, personally, this last season, what we seen was a running game. We didn't have a running game. We didn't have a running game. We didn't really get a running game until towards the end of the season when they started letting Rico Dowell run the ball and do him. But even with Rico Dowell, you had some injury issues with him. You got to think about these boys, these youngs. They coming in fresh legs, fresh everything. Reminded me of of when we got Zeke. But my downside of it is that do I really want to take a running back in the first round draft again?
Uh, yeah.
That's my downside of it. Now, I don't know if that's what I really would want to do is take a running back in the first round draft again. That's first round draft pick again, just because of what we had to go through when we had to pay
I,
Zeke.
yeah. I would say I would go. I would if it was personally, if it was me, I would go for one of our other needs in the first round. Try to get the best player available. Um, and I would target, one of those Ohio State running backs, one of those two Ohio State running backs in the second or third round.
we need some
Yeah,
speed too. I like
I like
Henderson.
Jukins. I'll take Jukins.
yeah, yeah,
I would take Henderson only because
I'll
Henderson
take
is
Henderson.
is speedy
yeah,
and we need speed on offense. That's
I'll
yeah.
one
take
thing
Henderson.
when you look back like a couple years ago when we played the 49ers and Pollard went out the game, that changed the whole complexion of the game because we didn't have any other back or anybody else besides him and CD with any speed. So that's why I think we need to actually put more speed on that offensive side of the ball, so that basically, we can have basically, a more explosive offense because we have a running back who can catch out the backfield, who's a home run hitter, and the same thing at wide receiver. So that's why I'm Mr. Trade down if Genty and T-Mac are not there. I like Golden too. Golden's the fastest wide receiver in the draft. I love Golden. But is he basically, does he warrant being selected at number 12? That's my thing. Because Isaiah Bond is just as nice. He may not be as fast, but he's just as nice. You can get him in the second or third round. So
And you can.
that's the
But my
dilemma.
deal, but with Isaiah Bond, my antenna's up right now because he was one of my picks. But my antenna's up right now
I
with
know.
what he got going on. So again, do we want to be that team? We are the team that take the bad boys. But do we want to go into the season off top with someone that's already threatening some problems?
That's the thing. It's allegedly. It's
I mean, it's
allegedly.
it's
It's
allegedly it is.
allegedly.
But I'm saying it's but it's there. But I like Isaiah Bond. We can get him in the third or the fourth round just to get him and stash him in case something was to happen or whatever. I'm cool with that. Because I think me and Kelly had talked about Isaiah Bond. We had talked about his ups, his goods and his goods, his bads and whatever. And I didn't know that boom, he was gonna have this come out, allegedly. Um, but you know, I'm like, then the girl saying she got recording that tried to ask her to sign an NDA, and
Mm, I don't know what's going on. Mm, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know about these kids, but the wide receiver position, just like the running back position, are really deep. So I mean, it depends on who wants to trade up. Because I heard Denver really wants to trade up as well, and so does Kansas City wants to trade up, and so does the Texans. So if that's the case, I don't know what they want to do. I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. Because to be honest with you, Njigba is nice. Luther Burden is nice at the wide receiver position. Then you have the same for the running back position. Running back position is deep until the fourth round. So that's why I'm like, listen, the more picks we have, the more impact we can make basically on our team.
right. Like I said, I'm all for it.
What up,
I'm
Wayne?
all for it. I don't have a problem with. I don't have an issue with trading. God damn it. I don't have an issue with trading back. Or trading back, but I'm not gonna trade back if I got two. I got at least two. If I got two or three best player availables that I can use, that I definitely need it. That is a need. Now, if it's just two or three there that I can use or I like, no. But if they best player available and I can need and it's a need, I'm staying put at my 12 and taking that best player available that I need. That I absolutely need. But I wouldn't mind trading back in trading back just because we don't have a fourth round pick. And I would love to get back into the fourth round. Fourth round is where you find some fourth round is where you find your gems. That's where you find your bread and your butter at some time in the fourth round. So I would let it get back into a fourth round. But if we at 12 and we got best player available and there's a need that we need and we need it, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. And
It's gonna
Jerry
be a
said he's
great
not doing
debate.
anything. Jerry said that the first pick is not going to be his call. He said the first pick will not be his call.
That's been like that for the last 2 years, though. It wasn't his call.
He a lie.
It was the
You a lie.
coach's call.
Well, no, it ain't.
Mozzie,
It's
Mozzie wasn't his call.
it's
Mozzie
the
wasn't his
coach's
call.
call until he decide he want to
What
get
you
in it.
talking? He need to call Jimmy right now. If that's the case, he need to call Jimmy Johnson on the phone right now. What is he talking about? That's why we be getting in trouble in the first round. That's exactly why he need to get back on his yacht. Ever since Jerry was, when he gets on his yacht, that year he was lights out in the draft. He need to get back on that yacht. When he was on that yacht, we had an A+ draft, and everybody was like, "Yo, Jerry is cooking with grease. He need to get back on that yacht because I don't know what he's doing right
Get him a
now."
bottle of yak and get on that yacht and chill out.
Yeah, by himself. He has no distractions. He's just chilling. He need to get back on that yacht. He should, because we need this draft. We need an A++ draft. We really do. We do, because we got to look up at the Commanders. I'm not even gonna say the Giants yet, but the Eagles. The Eagles won the Super Bowl, so everybody's gunning for them. So we have to actually put more talent and more speed on this team. I love speed. Speed kills to me. More than anything else, I love speed. Speed kills. I want an offense just like basically Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. I want speed like that. We need more speed. You get more speed, we win more games. I'm telling you. Can't teach speed. Can't do it. The trenches too. We can offensive line help. We can do that too.
I definitely think that we need to. I think we need depth on the O line. We need depth on the D line. I agree that we need a running back. I 100% agree that we need a. I think that we need another safety. That's just my opinion. I think the safeties that we have are the safeties that we've been playing the last couple of years. Are they got a few miles on their leg. It's time to get some of these youngsters a go.
Cornerback. We need cornerback too.
Yeah, we definitely need a cornerback.
Yeah.
I think I had put a list of positions that we needed in the chat. I think I had put a list of what we needed. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and we can run through them. But we need everything, and that's the thing. Whenever when you draft and you need so many things, that's how sometimes you get caught up into you get in a bad situation with drafting because you need so many things, so you panic. And we are a team that panics when we need a player or we need something and we reach. Kelvin Joseph was a reach. Kelvin Joseph would have been there in the third round, the fourth round. He was a reach, and he not even here now. Um. Okay. So what? So
What's up,
the
Chanel? What's going on?
hi Chanel. Um. The positions I said we need is running back one, wide receiver two, cornerback, defensive tackle, defensive end, left tackle, right guard, safety, linebacker. That's a whole damn team.
Yeah.
That's a whole team. That's a whole team. A whole damn team.
Oh man, I think we need pieces. I think we need pieces, especially at the cornerback position because Diggs. We don't know what Diggs is going to do. Right?
Exactly.
We just lost Lewis, so
Right?
cornerback is a need position.
A
Wide
very big
receiver,
need.
we need a wide receiver that's that friendly. That's my phrase is that friendly because that loves wide receivers who run routes, crisp routes. So you can have the best speed in the world, but if you can't run crisp routes, that may not throw the ball to you. So that's why I always preach that needs a wide receiver that can run crisp routes, and that's why I love Njigba. I love Njigba actually. Him and Luther Burton both.
Oh, I love Luther Burton.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking out for Dak Prescott in the running back position. Listen, you can get power and speed in the first 4 to 5 rounds with running back. I'm telling you, it's going to be when all these running backs are actually drafted, right? And we're going to look back a year or two from now and say, yo, we got to steal in such round. He wasn't a first rounder, but we got to steal. I'm telling you, so many backs because I watch a lot of these running backs play. That's why I'm enamored with the running back from Ohio State more than anything.
Yeah, that's my thing about the running backs from Ohio State. They split time. They don't have as many miles on their legs. I don't have as many carries on their bodies as some, as
Some of the other players.
some of the other ones do. Um, because they're going to go through whoever we get. They're going to go through mini camp, training camp,
Hmm.
OTA. They're going to go through all this, and I guarantee you they're going to get they're going to get a lot in preseason. I guarantee they're going to get a lot of reps in preseason. Um, so we need somebody that hasn't.
A lot of miles.
Yeah, yeah,
That doesn't have a lot of miles on them. They can work. That's already in its position to wear down easily. Um, but nevertheless, it's a spot we need. Um, and you want to get the best player available if you can. Um, definitely need cornerback because I don't know what we don't know how D is gonna come back. You know, I don't even know if he's gonna be back the beginning of the season. So we gotta have somebody opposite of Bland.
yeah. And I'm hoping that Bland, he came off his injury. He started playing. A little bit better towards the end of the season, but hopefully he comes back fully healthy and gives us a little spark. We need one of these sides to be a shutdown side.
One of them. We need one of them to be a shutdown side,
And
and that
and
would be my reason to bring Gilly back because even at his age, he still is a semi shutdown corner. Yeah, couple of games people probably got, but for the most part, he was a shutdown corner.
yeah, especially with the offenses, going. The focus has been back on the running game. You gotta have three good corners out there.
Right.
You gotta have three because you're gonna need that that linebacker. And let's even go back to that. We got to find some linebackers that can cover
Yeah, we need cover. We
because
need covering
we
linebackers.
yes.
Covering linebackers. So with that being said, um, would y'all bring Kendricks back?
He's too slow for me. He's
Yeah,
too slow for me. I'm sorry, he's too
he's
slow.
yeah he the way these tight ends are built now, they would eat him up running the seam up the middle.
Yeah, he's too slow for
Yeah.
me. No,
I think time has caught up with him. I think he played some good. He made some good. He made some good plays last year, but I just think time caught up with him too as well. Now I wouldn't be a rush to bring him back, but I don't know. I think even if I brought him back as a camp body just to kind of help mentor the younger guys, I don't see where that would be a problem. You know,
Right.
I don't see where that would be an issue because it's if you're bringing them in to help mentor the younger players that you're bringing in.
I have a linebacker.
Who?
Foxy gonna love this. Jack Kaiser from Notre Dame. He can cover. He can
I like
cover.
Kaza.
I
Yeah,
watched him. He can cover. So I don't know if he's a little light to stop the run, but he can cover.
And Notre Dame had a nice little safety too.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. Watts
Whites.
and
Yep.
Benjamin, the cornerback too. Benjamin was hurt. He's a shutdown corner.
hmm
Trust me, man. I've been doing my homework on Notre Dame.
I, I
So
like I like Amos though.
yeah, Amos is good too
I
from
like
Ole
I
Miss.
yeah I like Amos. I like Amos from Ole Miss. I like him. He's definitely he's a shutdown corner. Um,
But I'm gonna tell you why I like Benjamin because Benjamin's a 4-3 guy. We need more
yeah,
speed at the
speed of
cornerback
course,
position.
speed.
That's why I like. That's why him and Harrison from Kentucky. I'm like, yo, we need more speed at the cornerback position. I understand we got to stop the run. That's why we have some big linebackers and the safeties. But the cornerback position, you get behind because at cornerback, when you play cornerback, you're
He
gonna have
coming
a
from
misread.
Ooh,
You know what
Lord,
I'm saying? You're gonna have
Kentucky.
a misread though. You're gonna have a misread. but your speed can make up for that misread, and that's why I love cornerbacks with speed. That's why I love the Champ Baileys of the world. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
speed kills. Um, you yeah.
Hey, listen,
I
listen.
just
That
don't need. I
kid,
just don't need him to come. Yeah, I'm thinking about the guy
he's
from
a good kid.
the
He's a
player from
good kid. He's
Kentucky.
not a rapper. I know
Yeah, I just
exactly.
don't
He's
need
not a
him to come
rapper.
here and be a rapper and coming
No,
from there and being a
no,
rapper
no.
like your boy
No, he's a
and
good kid. He's a good
and
kid. He's
end
not a
up part of
rapper.
a murder case.
No, he's a good kid. You know, he passed all his basically mentals at the combine. He was great in all the interviews. Trust me, Harris. Yo, I'm telling you, that kid can ball. He can ball. He's not gonna be like my man. He had great potential though. He did have great potential. Prototype cornerback, 6'2", 6'1", 4'3", 40. He just was a head case. Mentally, he wasn't in the game. He just wasn't. I like Boss Man though. I like Boss Man. Boss Man has a ring, I think, with Kansas City.
Yeah, sitting on the bench.
Hey, listen, it's still a ring.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at him.
It's still a
Mars
ring.
Claiborne got one too, sitting on the
Yeah.
bench.
Hey, listen,
I
you can
don't.
always
I don't.
tell your kids or your grandkids, hey, that granddad won the Super Bowl.
You
You know
didn't
what I'm
win.
saying?
You didn't
Yeah.
win. You were part of a team that won.
Who's gonna know that?
You looked up and you looked up and got on a team that won. You put no effort into that ring, sir.
He
Now
was a
you
practice
got it.
player.
You got it, but you put no effort or anything into winning that ring. So no.
Hey, listen,
And
Shady has two
no,
rings.
because
Remember that now.
I thought no, I thought what's his name was on this. I thought he was on on his last team. I don't think he was on the team when they won the ring.
I mean,
He was just on the he was just
I think
on
Taco was on that team too.
Taco was
Taco was
on.
on that
It was
team.
Taco on. Yeah, Taco
Hold on, let me see something.
was on the team. Yeah, because they just got your boy. They had just got him. What we talking about anyway?
Boss man.
Boss man. Yeah, they had Kansas City had just got him like middle end season or so or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, he didn't get no ring. Taco did.
So what? You want Taco to have one who was cut mid-season in his
He
first
ain't,
year?
I mean,
He got cut mid-season.
he ain't did nothing to get it. He just again he just was on a team that won. And actually he's playing for the Dallas Renegades now.
I think the boss man was in a bad situation because of his friends. Jerry tried to save him like he did with Pac-Man Jones. He did the same thing with Pac-Man Jones,
Right?
right? So sometimes
Right.
the situation is that basically you when you become a professional athlete and you
You have to
know some of your
separate.
friends may not be right for you, just give them some money to step aside for a second while you handle your business.
For
That's what
me,
I would do with
boss
some of these
man,
cats.
for me it was a game. Let me think what game it was. I can't remember. But it was a game.
Jacksonville, and was it the Jacksonville game where he got
That,
burned
that was one of
twice?
them. That was one of them. And it was a but it was I forgot which game it was that I don't know for some reason I locked in on him and I studied him. I studied him through that whole game just because I was rooting for him because I knew the type of kid he was. I knew the type of background he came from. Got in trouble at LSU and had to sit out a year, then transferred to Kentucky. I was rooting for him. I was against the pick when they picked him. I felt like it was. I'm gonna say I felt like it was a reach. It was. Um, but it was a Dan Quinn pick. Dan Quinn had a certain type of cornerbacks that he liked, and Bossman Fat fit Dan Quinn's criteria for cornerback, and I was cool with it. I mean, the first thing I said, I was like, "Oh Lord, he gonna come here and get in trouble," not thinking he was, but he did. But I studied him, and it was just something that made me say he wasn't it. When I think it was the Dolphins game, And the way you could tell that he didn't know certain routes. He didn't know certain things. He was lost. He was just lost the whole freaking game. I don't know if you just didn't practice. I don't know if you just didn't lock in. I don't know if he just didn't go back over the material. I don't know what it was, but that was the game for me. That was like, we need to trade him. We need to get rid of him. But I didn't know we was gonna do a trade for a trade with the Dolphins for the same kind of player. Um, minus the trouble. I think that was a bad trade. It was a trade for a trade, and I think it was a bad play, a bad trade. But I don't know what Batman, I don't know what Boss Man doing now, 'cause I don't even think he's part of a team right now.
I gotta
Um,
check. I haven't checked in a while with Boss Man. I just wish him well.
yeah, I just wish him well, and just hopefully he stay out of trouble. But I don't think he's even part of a team right now, whatever. But nah, I don't think. Yeah, he didn't get a ring because he was just on this last team with Kansas City, and they lost in the Super Bowl.
I'll double check where Boss Man is.
The linebackers I know the Cowboys scouting team like are Bossa Carter. Yeah, I actually like Walker. I like Turner.
But the one thing we need more than anything else is a middle linebacker.
Yeah, we gotta have a
That's
middle
the thing.
linebacker.
A middle linebacker with speed
They
and
can
who can
cover
hit.
and
That's
can
what we
hit it
need.
and can stay in his and can read and stay in his lane.
What's the We just traded for a linebacker from Tennessee. He was good. He was good though with San Diego. He was good. But I like Mr. Campbell from Alabama, but the only way the Cowboys can select him if we trade down.
Yeah,
He's
we'd
going
have
to
to
be
trade now.
selected around the 20s.
Yeah,
But there's other linebackers you can actually draft in like the later rounds, in rounds 3 and 4. That's why I'm team trade back. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm team trade back. You trade back, you accumulate more picks, you can select more players who will be on rookie contracts. That's another thing too, because we have to pay Parsons and all these other players. So some of these rookies coming in on rookie contracts will be huge.
hmm
That's another thing too. We got to think about. We got to pay Parsons. We got to pay Smith. We got to pay a lot of cats
What's
because we
Smith?
draft well.
What's Smith?
Hold on. Tyler, we got to pay him
Oh,
too. We
yeah.
got to pay him too. We got to pay.
But we
We
don't have to pay him right now.
Yeah, but still though. See, we should do what the Eagles are doing. You see, the Eagles pay their players before it's time, so they can
Well,
save
we
on a
well
salary
we
cap.
we used to do that. We used to do that. Pay them before it was time. I don't know why we don't still do it, but we used to do that. But I see the issue with us. The reason we have to get under so much cap space. Um,
But Jerry calls that though. If Jerry would have actually handled
yeah,
Dak Prescott's
of course it's
contract
his
and
fault.
CDs a little bit better, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now.
Of
That's
course
on
it's his
Jerry.
fault. Of course, it's always gonna fall on the. It's gonna always fall on the owner, and it's gonna always fall on them. Because they
He the
are the ones
GM.
that they don't need a GM. They the ones that negotiate the contracts.
Yeah, but he should do it ahead of time though. Just like the Philadelphia Eagles just signed
He
their
used to
star
though.
center to a multi-year deal. They restructured his deal. So I'm like, why Jerry can't do the same thing? It's like Howie Roseman is 2 and 3 steps ahead of everybody else. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Jerry needs to do something else, if you ask me. Because man, we need some more pieces, Jerry. We need some difference makers. That's what I want too. I want him to draft difference makers and basically sign difference makers. Because the NFC as a conference is stacked. We're stacked. And we don't know how good the Giants may be. We don't know.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think the Giants are not going to be a as of now the way it looks. I don't see the Giants being a sweep team this coming season. I don't think it's I don't think we sweep them this season. Based and that's based off of what they have versus what we still are a tad bit better than them until they get all their pieces in play, especially on their O line and their D line. Their O line is what they really should focus a lot on because that's why Daniel Jones couldn't succeed there. He was always running for his life. He never had a line in New York that he can actually play comfortable behind. So now you have an older Russell Wilson, but you have Jameis Winston, which Jameis Winston is on a 1 year deal. Russell Wilson is on a 2 year deal. So more than likely, if they draft a quarterback, just say they decide to draft Shador, say they do it. If they I think that takes Jameis Winston off the pack, unless they let the other quarterback go.
Who,
But
Danny DeVito? Because
DeVito,
Danny DeVito's on the roster as well.
yeah, unless they let DeVito go. But I think if they do take a quarterback early, I think that's probably going to shake up their quarterback room some. I do feel like Russell Wilson is still there to be the starter, so they can get he what they want him to be that vet quarterback that helps that quarterback room. Um, of course, they're going to look at the fact that Russell Wilson does have a Super Bowl ring, years ago under Pete Carroll, but he does have one. And the way Russell Wilson carries himself, you know, I think they paying him 2 years, paying Jamie 1 year speaks volumes. So again, and it probably if they had to pick between Jameis and DeVito, they're probably going to pick DeVito to stay because of course he's cheaper. And then he's just one that they love. He love the GM. They love DeVito there. But if they don't pick a quarterback early, I think they're going for Abdul Carter. I think they're gonna pick Carter, and they would be wise to do that. They would be wise to take Carter. Cause me personally, if I was the Giants and I was the Giants front room office, I would not go for quarterback.
I told you all that. I wouldn't either because
I
the
would not
GM
do
and the head coach
quarterback.
on the hot seat.
But not even just because they're on the high seat, just because what you already have done with your quarterback room. Just because what you have already done. At the end of the day, you got two vets already in your quarterback room. Um, Again, they need to shore up their O line, and they do need to shore up their D line. If they get Carter, they gonna be a force to reckon with.
I don't. Their D line, they already have Thibodeau and they have Burns already, right? So
But
why are you
yeah,
getting
but
caught? They're gonna
they
have to trade
didn't.
one of them though. They're gonna have to trade one of them because you can't keep all three.
But if they draft Carter, if I think one of them only got like 1 year left on their deal.
That's Thibodeau.
That's Thibodeau. So if they trade if they draft Carter and Thibodeau only got 1 year left on his deal, I don't see them trading either one. I just
Now,
think
in the
I
paper,
don't see.
I was reading the paper right here in New Jersey and in New York. They said if they draft Carter, they'd trade Thibodeau. But Thibodeau was also a top five pick.
He
So
was
that's the dilemma. That's the dilemma. It's like, okay, Thibodeau was the same, just like Carter, and we don't know what's gonna happen with the Browns pick. The Browns pick number two. They picked before the
right,
Giants, so we don't
right.
know who's gonna. What if actually Hunter's there? And I'm telling, like I told you in the chat, I think Genty could be drafted by the Giants because what happened with Saquon Barkley. The GM and the head coach, every time Saquon Barkley had a good game last year, it was in the press. It was like, look what the Giants did.
Yeah, I know.
So my thing is, I don't know what the Giants really gonna do. I mean, Shador could be there. Shador may be drafted by the Saints, but I think Genty has a real possibility of being drafted by the Giants because of what happened with Saquon Barkley. That's just one of the things that I've been thinking about, and I've seen it too. That hey, you never know, Genty might be a top 4 pick, and the Giants are being really coy about who they're going to draft.
Mm.
So that's why with the Giants, I'm like, could be Genty, could be Carter, could be Henry, but it depends on what the Browns are going to do because nobody knows what the Browns are going to do. Maybe the Browns might take Shador. Who knows? We don't even know
Right.
because in a couple of years they're going to have an indoor stadium. It's
But
not next to
but
the water.
but no, because you have to think about it. What you I don't see that because you have to think about Cam Ward is going first as quarterback.
Yeah,
Cam,
Cam Ward
Cam
is
Ward is
first.
going to be the first
Yeah,
quarterback off the board.
yes, he is.
So
They
whether
already said
it's
that.
whether the Titans take Cam Ward first and then
Yeah.
Cleveland take Hunter, or rather Titans flip the script and take Hunter first and then Cleveland take um Hunter, is to me Shador is still gonna still be a number 3, a number 4, a number 5, a number 6, all the way to a number 9 pick. And I'm gonna be people get mad, and y'all don't care. Y'all can be mad. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I'm gonna be completely honest on this. Shador can even drop down all the way to not even top 10.
No, we already know. We
He
already
could
know
drop
that.
down to not even a top 10 pick. And I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot of teams that prefer to have Dart over Shador. It's a lot of teams that prefer to have Jason Dart over Shador. And it's not because they feel like Jason Dart is a better player than Shador. It's because they don't want the drama. They don't want the they. Hey, I'm just telling you.
I know,
I'm just telling you what the talk is. I'm telling you what's being said. I'm just telling you what's been said from sitting up watching NFL Network all day. That's just some. They were talking about it actually this morning, and that is just some of that was from Adam Schefter. That's just some of what they're saying. Like what he's saying is now that it's getting closer and closer to the draft, you're hearing more conversations and you're hearing more of these teams talk about these different, these different players. And he said when he in certain rooms, you hear the talk of, do we really, 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 really want that extra drama, want the drama?
what drama though? Let me ask you a question. What
And
drama?
I'm
He doesn't
like,
have any drama. His dad because of his dad though. He shouldn't take a ride because of
but
his
they gonna
dad. People don't
penalize
like
him
his
for that.
dad.
I'm like, don't penalize him for how his dad was. That's just who he was.
But
He,
Dion doesn't have drama though. He's just basically he just flashy. If you really analyze Dion, Dion is just flashy and he's outspoken. Other than that, he's not like T.O. doing push-ups in the driveway or doing something diva like that. You know what I'm saying? They just don't like Dion or Prime because he's outspoken and he's telling the truth. But he's not. There's no real drama with Dion. If you really, that's all media that's
I think
created
that
that. Think about that for a second.
I think the thing that people are scared of is from what they're saying is that they they don't want a situation where they're they're being chastised if they say something to should do it the wrong way. That or they don't tell him something, or if they don't, if it's like they feel like they have to walk on eggshells just because they don't want to get in. They don't want to have a bad vibe or a bad rapport with you know Dion. Especially after some of the statements that Dion made. And I mean, I ain't mad at him. That's his kid. So protect your child with all means necessary. And the thing about this situation with Shador and Dion is the fact that Dion played in his league. Dion knows how these leagues are. He knows how these teams operate behind the scenes. He knows this. So he has more insight that he can give Shador. You know, my only thing is I just want him to come in and I just want him to be humble. Just be humble. Just be humble. Just understand that your dad is your dad. Dion made his name for himself. You come in and make your name for yourself, even though you his son. And it would be wonderful to have both of y'all in the books in the books. But just come in and just be humble.
I don't know. I think
I just don't want him to be another what's that boy that I don't like? Um
who
Chicago play. What's that boy name? I can't think
who
of his name.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Nah, he totally different than Caleb
I just
Williams.
don't want him to be another Caleb Williams. I don't like Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams
I
is
don't.
Caleb Williams been a diva since high school though.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
I
that.
don't
He's
like
been a
Caleb Williams.
diva. Shador's not a diva, and I think the media is creating all this hysteria about Dion. First of all, Dion has to coach college kids right now, and they're going to be playing around the same time. Dion has a program that he has to run. So that's why I don't think he's going to be really involved in what Shador's doing as a professional, why he has other kids that he needs to mentor and nurture right now. So that's why I think the media is creating all this hysteria for no reason about Shador. There's there's no drama that he's going to have because any backlash, right, is going to fall on the program. And Dion doesn't want any backlash with Colorado's program right now. So that's why I think it's all media created. The media, this is all the media about Dion. Who's the sources? Who's the sources that said all these GMs are going in the back room? We may not draft Shador because of Dion. Dion has no drama. Dion is basically squeaky clean. If you ask me, it's just the fact that he's a proud man, a proud father. I mean, I don't hear anybody saying anything about the Mannings. When Eli came out, he didn't even want to be drafted by the Chargers, right? That was the drama. You know what I'm saying? That was more the drama than anything. So I think this whole thing is a media circus that was created by them, just for the press. Because Shador has no drama. He's not an arrogant kid whatsoever. He's a polished kid. And I don't think Dion is going to meddle like that anyway. And Dion has it, like I said, Dion has his own program he needs to run in Colorado. He's trying to win a championship. So that's why I think that's all media creation. Because think about it, Dion is one half, and then Shador's another half. They're both two separate individuals, if you ask me. And I don't think Dion's going to meddle and say anything. It's not like Dion's going to get the playbook. Hey, run this play for my son. Hey, this is the play right here we've been running since high school. I don't think Dion is going to do that. I think the media is creating all this hoopla because you know how it is. The media can make you, and the media can break you. I like Shador. I like Shador a lot. Shador needs to be drafted in a system where that basically he's going to be able to flourish. That's why I'm saying watch out for the Browns. Just watch out for the Browns because these other teams are real sneaky and they do certain things that people don't think they're going to do. So just watch out for the Browns. If Shador goes to the Giants, so be it. Let's see what's going to happen. He might fall to 12. And if he falls to 12, then Dallas can actually trade for like 5 picks for him. So this draft may be unpredictable after the number 6 pick. It might be unpredictable. We don't know.
Right.
We don't
And
know.
that's what I said. I said the first 5 picks is gonna tell you how this is gonna shape out. The first 5 picks, because the first 5 picks are in position to disrupt everything, especially Cleveland, especially Titans. Even though we know the positions that they actually need, will they actually take them? But I know off top, I know Cam Ward is going as first quarterback, and I know Hunter going
Yeah,
between 1 and 2 or
Tennessee.
2 and 1. However, them first two gonna be the first two off the board. Now who gonna be third, fourth, fifth, and sixth? I don't know because I know Denver is trying to trade up for Hampton. They been in talks with trying to do some trade ups for Hampton.
But see, if you look at the boards and you look at draft position, they want to come up to 12. They want to come up to us and take Hampton. I mean, like I said, there's so many quality backs. If they want to trade up to get Hampton, I'm gonna ask for a boatload of picks for him.
Right.
I'm gonna ask for a boatload of picks. I love Baby Beast Mode. Don't get me wrong. I love Baby Beast Mode. But the Cowboys need more than just a running back, though. We need more than just a running back because we had all the injuries last year. I love Baby Beast Mode, but I love Henderson and Junkins just as much. Just as much. Just as much.
Oh yeah, I like Henderson. I like Trey Henderson, and I definitely like Junkins. I like them both. That's why I said really I can't be mad in this draft. I can't be mad about any running back that we may choose as long as it's one of those top running backs. I don't it would to me I don't it doesn't really matter to me which one we choose. And to be honest, Junkins is begging to come here. He done made I don't know how many videos he done made and went live just saying that I want to play in Dallas. I just want Jerry to come get me. I want to play in Dallas. So he's begging to come here. Um, Henderson, he also said he would love to play here. Hampton said the same thing. Of course, it's our first year, their first time. All they want to do is get drafted. But Jency definitely wants to play in Dallas.
So the Scatterboo.
And so does Scatterbull.
So I mean, it's a
So
lot. And see,
yeah.
some of these running backs can come in
And
and
speaking of
swing.
Scatterbull,
I like
where would you
Scatterboo.
take where would you take Scatterbull at? Would you take him in the
Third or fourth
third?
round. Third or
Yeah.
fourth round, I would take Scatterboo.
Yeah, I would take him in the third or fourth as well. Yeah, I would take him in the third or fourth as
Just the
well.
name Scatterboo.
Um, yeah,
He can sell a lot of T-shirts. Scatterboo.
yeah, he would be my pick in the third or the fourth round. I would take him as
But
well.
like I said, it depends on basically how they utilize them. It depends because we have two running backs now that are bruisers or inside runners. That's why I like the speed. But let's see. Let's see. Dalen Sampson from Tennessee is good too. So that's why I'm saying the running back position, we don't have to pick a running back in the first round. We don't have to. But if Genty's there, I was praying before, but if by a miracle that all these quarterbacks get drafted before him, hey, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Because rumor has it that there's teams out there that like Jalen Milroe. I think that's a mistake if he's drafted in the first round, actually. Watching him for the last 2 years, he still needs some polishing. He's not ready. If you ask me, he needs to sit on the bench for 2 years. Hey, maybe, all these teams need quarterbacks. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I just pray whatever decision we make, I hope it's the best one for us.
Hopefully, Shotty's telling them, listen, this is what we need, and please listen to me. That's one thing. I think his voice is going to be basically, he's going to have more of a voice in the draft room than Big Mike. Because Big Mike used to sit in the draft room and don't say nothing, just sit there, stoic. That's it. I think Shotty's going to be like, no, we need this, we need that. So hopefully, we come away with an A++ draft. And then after the draft, we can add some undrafted college free agents, and then we can add some more free agents to the team. I'm going to
Right,
pray.
right.
Because the NFC, like I said, the NFC, man, is a gauntlet right now. Is a gauntlet. This is what they wanted parity. They have it now. They have a lot of parity in the league. Because we don't have to draft a quarterback, thank God. We don't have to draft a quarterback. Dak Prescott said he really didn't lose that much weight. He's just trying to get quicker, get more agile. He didn't lose that much weight. He says he looks
He
slimmer,
just
but he didn't
he
lose that
just
much weight.
yeah, he just slimmed down, but he slimmed down, but he's not where he just got himself back in better physical shape.
Because everybody's asking him to run more because they see all the quarterbacks running. I'm like, that was when his first 4 years he was running until he became a better passing quarterback. I said, now he had all the injuries, just like Romo, he may not run as much. He may not run as much. Hopefully we can get a running back that's going to take the load so he can actually be the passer that we need him to be.
Would you take Luther Burns over T Mac?
No, And the reason why I wouldn't, because Dak Prescott hasn't ever thrown to a wide receiver that's 6'4" and has a catch radius as
We
T
have we
Mac.
have we have a receiver that's 6'4". We just ain't
Where
used
is
him.
it? Where at?
We
Where
just
at?
ain't used him.
Where at? What's the name? Where at?
We have a receiver that's 6'4". We just ain't used him. We just ain't never used him properly. We ain't used him properly yet.
If you talking about Brooks, Brooks is 6'3", but he's not
I ain't
T
talking
Mac.
about Brooks.
Who you talking about?
I'm not talking about Brooks.
Who you talking about? Who's 6'4"? Where at? Who? Listen, listen. I know exactly who you're talking about, but he's not as skilled as T Mac though. T Mac is skilled. T Mac is like Mike Evans. T Mac is like Mike Evans. I
Uh,
like Burden. Don't get me stuck. Burden
oh
is
Lord, these
Burden.
comparisons to Mike Evans is killing me.
Yeah, but it's the truth
Uh,
though. When you look at T Mac, you see Mike Evans though.
I don't know.
They the same size. They run the
They
same 40
are. They
times.
yeah. I know, but
Think red zone. Think red. I'm thinking
you
red
know I
zone, and
love
I'm
me some. You
thinking
know I
Dak
love me some
friendly.
Mike. You know I love me some Mike Evans. Um, and Mike Evans have been productive ever since he been into the league as a wide
Yes.
receiver. He has been very productive ever since he's been in the league. Um, uh, so, uh,
Why you
uh,
ask about Burden? Luther. Luther is his name. Why you ask about Luther? Luther's good, great after the catch. I love
I
Luther
love,
after
I
the
love, I
catch.
love Luther. I love Luther, but I don't know. I was just asking about T Mac because I like T Mac. I really, really do, and I really would. I mean, if we got him, I would be cool with that. I would really be happy that we have him on our team. But um, I don't. I just it's just some of the things. Some of the I don't like the fact that he said he don't like to look at film. He don't like to study. He don't like to read. He don't like to. He don't. Whatever. And I'm not saying he would do it. I'm not. I'm just like that's like a like that that put me in the mind of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray said did this was this exact same way. You know, it's like they had to put it in your um contract in order for you to want to do it. But then you made
Because of the
such a big
film
thing
study
about
stuff.
it, right? Because of film study stuff like that. He would rather play the game.
A lot of players are like that. They don't want to practice. Like Allen Iverson, we talking about practice, man. We talking about practice. So so a
Well,
lot of
Barry
players.
Sanders didn't like to practice.
So they talk about practice, man. He talking about practice. I don't know. I thought that was
Barry
footage of
Sanders
him when he was a
didn't like
freshman.
to practice.
A lot of people don't, but
I would love to see, but the only thing with T Mac, I think, um, his how crispy you think he on routes? Because
that's what it.
I think that's an issue where I would have a, yeah, I would need him to get with a route doctor because
In
I think
Jigba, that's when Jigba comes in.
that's one of the things that I think he only one of the only things I think he lack is running routes, and that's one of the things we just said. Dak likes a quarterback that can run. I
Chris
mean,
routes.
a wide receiver that can run crisp routes, and that's why him and Cooper Rush. I mean, Lord Cooper Rush. What be talking about me?
Ooh,
Him,
Lord.
him and Amari Cooper paired so well together in the beginning. When they came because of Amari being a great route runner. And it's still surprising to see there Amari is still out there as a free agent. You know,
He slowed down a little bit and he was playing hurt second half of the year. So I don't know his market demands, but would I want him to come back to Dallas? I don't know. I don't know because they should have never traded him. But I don't know. But getting back to Luther Burden, Luther runs Chris routes and so does Njigba though.
yeah,
Whew.
and Chico good too.
But
I
everybody
like
said,
him
well, he's a
too.
slot. He runs a slot. I said, listen, he has position flexibility. He's not just a slot receiver because CD runs some great routes out of the slot as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Chico is
saying?
good. I
So
like him too. That's why I said this wide receiver class and this running back class, man, is deep. It's deep. So do you think if we don't get T Mac, do you think Golden is our next target?
I'm gonna tell you no, and the only reason why I'm gonna say no is because Dallas likes Ohio State players. That's why if you draft in Jigba, you trade down, you draft in Jigba, and then you draft Henderson, you have two Ohio State players that can make a difference right there. That's my thinking. I don't know about everybody else's, but in Jigba, and then you have Henderson, just added playmaking and speed and uh, individuals that can catch the football out of the backfield as well as in Jigba. He doesn't drop passes. That's another thing. He doesn't drop passes. When we need those first downs, you could throw it to him if CDs happen to be double teamed or whatever. I'm just looking at the possibilities. Don't forget about Mingo, baby. Everybody's sleeping on Mingo. Everybody talking
Yep.
trash about Mingo. We can't
That's what
forget
I
about
that's what
Mingo.
I told you. I said and they got a 6'4" receiver.
Mingo 6'2". Mingo
So
6'2". He's 6'2". I
um
love Jonathan Mingo, but he's 6'2". But you know what it is? With Mingo hasn't played with a quarterback like that Prescott. I keep telling everybody that. I said, look who he had to play with in Carolina. He's never played with a quarterback. And then when Wet Noodle was here, Wet Noodle couldn't even hit him deep playing against Philly. He's doing the other way. I said, just give actually Mingo a chance. And then Paris Campbell has speed to burn too. I just don't understand what was his problem with the Giants and the Eagles.
yeah, I like the Paris Campbell. He has speed. Yeah, he definitely has speed. Yeah. But I don't know what happened that he didn't okay, now what's going on with Detroit wide receiver that they trying to trade?
Williams is nice too. Williams is just
I like
thin.
Williams. But what's going
Hey,
on with him up there that they trying to trade him?
I don't know. I've been trying to read why. I don't know. Maybe because he had the drugs. He taking those illegal supplements. I don't know. He wasn't a head case at Alabama, so I don't know. I'm trying to read the reports and see what's wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he could have made the coaches mad. Maybe I don't know. But hey, if they wanted a second round pick for him, we better listen. We better listen. I like Williams though. Jameis, wait, yo, listen, his speed is the burn. He burned us so bad when Detroit played us. I was like, man,
Yeah, he got that speed. Definitely got that speed. Um, so they're saying that this is quote from Adam Schefter. T Mac interviewed very poorly in his pre-draft process. Some teams have already been speaking on taking him off their draft board. I don't believe that. I believe that's a tactic to try to get
exactly.
other teams to pull or push away from him. So hopefully he'll fall to them. I think that's a tactic that they're trying to use. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But I will say that if we did get him, I definitely I need him to get up on his routes.
Well, I mean, CD can be a teacher. Don't forget, Amari taught basically CD how to run Chris Rouse too. Everybody say, oh, CD was doing that in college. He was doing it not like this, not like he's doing now. Amari was a good teacher, so maybe CD can teach him. Who knows? That's
But
why
we
you
go,
like Burden too, because I can see it in your face. You're like Burden can run routes, and Jigba can
yeah,
run routes.
yeah, and Jacob can run routes too. But
Golden is not a route runner though by
uh-uh.
trade,
Golden
like because he's
lazy.
speed. He's just a speed demon.
Yeah, but if it wouldn't have been for Isaiah Bourne getting hurt, I don't even know if we see Golden.
Isaiah Bond should have stayed in
Yeah,
Alabama. I don't know what.
if
I know
yeah, I
everybody
don't
wanted to
know.
leave,
I
but he
don't
should have
know. I don't
stayed.
know if we even see Golden if Bourne didn't get hurt. The another thing with T Mac for me too is like he to me I feel like he's more of a 50-50 ball. He kind of like a Dez. How remember Dez was that 50-50 ball catch?
Exactly. But
So
we need that during the red zone.
I think that's what T Mac is too. I think he's that 50-50 ball. Matthew Golden is a good option at wide receiver too if T Mac is gone. He's another outside X receiver and is in the top five. Yeah, he's definitely in the top five. But I'm saying that I don't know if we even see Golden be a top five if Isaiah Bond didn't get hurt. That's how you seen Golden emerge. So because of you know Bond getting hurt. And Bond,
I love Bond.
I love Bond. I would still take Isaiah Bond before I would take Golden. The only thing that scared me away from Isaiah Bond is the fact that he got this stuff going on with these allegedly charges. That's the only thing that's kind of pushing me back from him. But I would still take Bond before I would take Golden.
But
But
don't forget,
because Bond in trouble, let's hope he falls. And if he falls, he can still follow us down in
well,
the
don't,
draft.
yeah, but Bond right now, they ranking him as like the 18th best wide receiver in the draft. I don't know if that his pending case has anything to do with it, but
Yeah,
he's ranked number 18.
yeah, his stock fell. Yeah, his stock fell because before they announced those charges, he was in the top 10.
I like him. We're gonna see
I
if he
like him.
transfer.
I like him.
He should have stayed in
I like him.
Alabama. He wouldn't have this trouble now if he stayed in Alabama. He should stay with Ty, but he wanted to transfer. Damn. I don't know. I think the Cowboys might do something else. I like Golden. I do like Golden for his speed, right? But Luther and Jigba, just watching them after the catch,
Mhm.
and they're a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So just the Cowboys may do something sneaky. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I like Golden though, but just think about it. The Cowboys need a receiver basically to complement CD, but then we have Mingo, we have Paris,
Right.
we have
Right.
Ryan. So we have wide receivers, right? So let's see what happens. We need a different wide receiver. I like Luther Burden only because he reminds me of Debo a little bit with the ball.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
reminds me of Debo with the ball. And I
Yeah.
like that. And I like that about him because he reminds me of Debo. And I wanted the Cowboys to draft Debo and everybody else. Some people were saying, nah, he's injury prone. I'm like, listen, man, Debo going to be special, and Debo's special. I don't know what he's going to do in the cold weather in
Yeah, I don't know.
DC,
I
though,
don't know how he's gonna play over in DC though when it gets cold because his whole career he's used to playing um in
in that
the
warm weather, baby.
the good weather over there.
You know what? That's one good thing about the Cowboys playing in the NFC East is because we're playing outside in cold weather. Even though we have a dome, we play in the cold weather so that when the playoffs come, we can adapt to the cold weather. That's one good thing about playing in the NFC East. That's one good thing I will say. But I don't know what Debo's going to do. I don't know what Debo's going to do. On paper, it
Hmm.
looks good, but like they say all the time, paper don't mean squat if you can't play on the field.
Yep, I tell people all the time, paper ain't never got you in paper
Look at
champs,
Miami. Look at the Miami Dolphins. On paper, they have a super team, right? 2 years ago, they had a super team when we
super
played
team.
them and we lost to them.
Yep,
They had a
right,
super team. But
right.
when they went to play against the Chiefs, what happened? They couldn't play in the cold.
Hmm.
They had neutralized their speed because they don't have a power running game in the cold. And so when you said Amari Hampton, I thought about it too. I said, you know what? He would be good when it gets cold, right? But let's see what happens. Like I said, come Thursday, it's gonna be basically exciting. We gotta wait like what, couple hours until we have to pick on number 12 if we don't trade
If
down.
we don't trade down, yeah. So that's a good thing. We don't have to be up all night waiting.
But you
Um,
but you know we have in our favor though. Mel Kiper for the last 3 years told us who we were drafting, and we drafted those particular players. Mel Kiper has been on point. That's the only thing.
who did
I
he
don't
say
know
we
if
getting in the first? Because I didn't look at his thing today. I didn't look at his
shit
thing.
Hampton. He picked Hampton the last four of his mock drafts. He picked
Oh, okay,
Hampton.
okay.
He picked Hampton. Some other people basically picking Golden, but he's picked Hampton. He said, "Hey, 12. If Hampton's there, don't trade down. Select him."
That's what I
Like
say.
I like I said, I would not be mad if we took Baby Beast Mode either because Shoddy, you know, had Beast Mode when he was in Seattle. So I get it. I understand. I would not be mad. I would not be mad. It's not like in 2016 though. 2016, I was the president of the Jalen Ramsey fan club, and I thought we was going to select Jalen Ramsey. I really did, and they took Zeke over Jalen Ramsey when we could have had Henry in the second round, but we got Jalen Smith instead. What happened? Foxy. Foxy. I guess I'm here by myself. Guess I'm here by myself. Let me see what happened with Nikki. Hold on, we're having some technical difficulties tonight. Well, hello, beautiful fans. I guess we're having some technical difficulties. What's up, Fox? Nikki dropped off.
Yeah, I am. I'm indisposed of right now.
Okay. All right. So, damn. I don't know where Nikki is. I don't want to close out the show without Nikki. Nikki, what happened? Hold on. Hey, Fox. Hey, let Nikki back in. There we go.
I'm back. I don't know what I don't know what happened.
Hold on. Blame it on the Matrix. Blame it
That's
on
what
the
I'm
Matrix.
exactly what I'm blaming on. Blame it on the mate.
Blame it on the Matrix tonight. And I said, we talking draft strategy. Maybe somebody said, oh, pull the plug. You're talking too much. They're about to give away our secrets. So that could have been one of the reasons. Hey, as long as we draft difference makers right now, like I said, I'm not gonna get too, caught up in who we draft. I'm not gonna get caught up in that and fall in love with a player that we don't draft, then you all pouting the rest of the draft. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that ever again. I'm not doing that. I did that in 2016, like I said before. I'm not doing that this time. Nope. No, we have a good draft. We have an A+ draft, and that's all I want us to do. And then the season's start. Then we September. Then we good. Damn. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Yes, yes, yes. We are almost at our 2 hour mark.
Yeah, that's crazy. That
So
was quick 2 hour mark.
right. So we got a couple of seconds. We can throw in a few things. I wish I had did my draft board already, so we could have ran through our draft picks through the draft board. But overall, what are you what overall what are you hoping for and looking for in this draft?
Just like I just stated, just want some difference makers on the team. I want us to basically, we need more speed. We need more speed compared to some of the other teams in the NFC. We need more speed on the team. That's what I want. I want more speed. I want difference makers. Um, we keep signing all these other like backup linemen, so I don't know if they're even going to target offensive linemen in the first round. That could be a sneaky pick. I don't know. So just let's see. I have an open mind about everything, to be honest with you. My mind is open. I just want difference makers and speed on this team because playing the playing the Commanders, playing the Eagles, they have good team speed, and all I want us to do is basically increase our team speed. That's what I'm looking forward to. I don't want the Joneses to get cute. Just go by your draft board. Go by the draft board. That's what I want them to do. Go by your draft board. Don't get cute right now because we don't have time to get cute. You know, Dad is getting older. He's becoming like Tony Romo, almost being injury prone every other year or whatever. So we don't have a lot of time right now. So just don't get cute. I just want weapons, difference makers, and some speed.
Right.
Improve the trenches when you can as well. Because, hey, football starts in the trenches. If you don't have trenches, you can't win. So
Right.
just as long as they don't get cute, we should be okay. That's it. And Jerry, please get on the yacht. Please get on the yacht. Don't go to Green Bay. It's too cold. Just get on your yacht. That's what
Here,
I'm asking.
he'll be here tomorrow night for the first. I mean Thursday night. He'll be here for the first pick. At the War Room over at the Star. He'll be there for the first pick.
Why don't
So
they
he
just get
might
on the yacht? The
he
yacht.
might he might be on there the second, third, the rest of them. But he'll definitely be here for the first round pick. Um, for me, I just want to see us go out and get players that they know we need. Don't juggle what we need, um, trying to prove a point to another team or trying to prove a point to make a statement to players on the team already. I think with this new coaching staff, the way we draft is going to tell a whole lot about this coaching staff. And Marty being the new head coach, I this is going to be his first draft as a head coach. So I definitely want to see um, the moves we make, the picks we make, and I want to see if any of these picks are driven completely by him as the head coach. Because we all know we have a lot of times in these drafts that we have had, these were all picks that Jerry or Steven wanted. And they just bulldozed them into the head of Will McClay and defense or whoever. So I want to see us. I want to see with this new coaching staff. I want to see the moves they make, and if it's the right moves. I need players that can come. I want players that can come ready to play. I want players that can step in and play. I understand coming from college to the NFL, it's a different speed. It's everything is just totally different. That's why it's the big thing about Travis Hunter playing both positions in the NFL. That it's hard. It's gonna be. That's a hard task. Um, but he's headstrong on that's what he want coming in for, want to do. If he can't do it, he's willing to retire. I'm like, okay, but um, I just hope we make the right. I hope we make the right choices that's best for the team, and that's what's best for Jerry. Jerry that can line his pockets with some more, or best for him still wanting to be in charge and take over. And I let the coach do his job. I think the picks should go through Will McClay, Scotty B, your defensive coordinator. I think all those picks should go through them and should be exactly who they want and who they choose and who they feel is the best for them. I think every player, I want every player to be a coachable player that's gonna come into the league with the mindset that the humble mindset. I made it. I'm here. I got the opportunity that so many kids wish they had or wish they can get. Um, and I hope Jerry and them is sitting back and everything in their mind is what happened last season, how it happened, how bad it happened, how bad we looked, how much it hurt us, and how Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. That should sting him more than anything. And right now, that should be his mindset. How do I get back into this division? Because right now it's still looking like Philly and Commanders is still the best two teams in the division right now. How do we get back in here? How do we put fear into them that they're not the best team? They're gonna have to face us. They're gonna have to play us. They're gonna have to show up to us. How do we put that fear back into them? Because right now nobody's scared. We don't right now we don't scare anyone. And that's what I want. I just want us to pick the best player available. And that's why I like a lot of the off-season moves we did. A lot of people don't like the off-season moves we did. I like them because, like I said earlier, it set the foundation for what we can do in the draft. We don't have to panic in the draft. The last 2 years, we have to panic in the draft, and
You
that's why
think
we
so?
ended up. Yeah, we panic, and we panic. We are a team that panics when it looks like everything is closed in on you. We panic. We are that team that do that, and I don't want us to do that.
Well, we do have a common denominator though. His name is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is 32-8 versus the NFC East. So if
Mhm.
there's one common denominator that we do have is Dak Prescott. So these teams may not fear us, but our quarterback is very successful against the NFC East. I wish he was like that against some of the other teams come playoff time, but right now against the NFC East, he's 32-8. That's our common denominator. So that's why hopefully we can draft some players that's that friendly. Like you know how they had Romo friendly, so right now hopefully we can have that friendly. That's what I'm gonna pray for. Because I think we're gonna pick what at 10 o'clock at night on Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be. Well, yeah, we 12,
We
so
12.
and it started at 7 our time, 8 our time. So it may be like 9ish here, 10ish there.
Yeah, it'd be like 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to take a nap, but I don't want to because there may be some trades in between. So let's see. Where you gonna watch the draft? You going to the stadium or
Yeah,
you gonna watch it from home? You going
no.
to the draft party? Oh,
Yeah, I
sugar,
always
sugar.
go. Yeah, I always go to the first round there to the stadium. I mean
Y'all gonna
to
have some
the
fun.
Star.
They're gonna have hors d'oeuvres and some party. I mean some music. I was about to
Yeah,
say party favorites.
they have all that, and then it's just right across the street. It's just nothing but restaurants and things there. So
Is Dez gonna be there?
it'll be pretty cool. He may be in the war room. Hmm. He's there sometime.
I miss
But they
Dez.
may have to move it on the inside though, because we're supposed to get rain Thursday, and
Really?
normally we out on the platform. But yeah, they may have to move it on the inside because we might get some rain Sunday. I mean, some rain Thursday.
We need somebody like Dez. We need that personality. We need that energy. There's one thing that we're missing. It's somebody like Dez. Even though, Jerry let Dez go, but we need somebody like Dez. We don't have that right now. We
Mm,
don't have that.
true.
I know that does it off camera, but on the field, we need that. We need somebody to just say, yo, just go at somebody. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. And that's what we miss. That's
Right,
what we're
right.
missing. We're missing Dez. We're missing that energy. We're missing that him and Michael Irvin were the best at it. CD's kind of quiet. Micah's not that. Micah, that's not Micah's basically persona. So we need that. I don't know where we're gonna get it from, but we need it. We need that. We need that energy, that passion. We need that fire. That's what we need.
Well, yeah, I think
Right?
we will get it though. So,
We better get it. We don't need it. We better get it. We was what 7-10 last year. We had a lot of injuries, but still, We need it.
Gotta have it.
We need it. Let's go back to practice with no star on the helmet, no names on the back of the jerseys until you earn it. I
That
wish,
part.
but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. It is what it is. I think Fox has some stuff he's doing
Yeah, he's home.
in the
Yeah, that's what he
office.
said. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank everybody for coming to the show. Start talking Cowboys. We appreciate you being here. You could be multiple places, but you chose to be here with us. We appreciate it. So
And
we're
we
looking
do.
forward to the draft. We're looking forward to the season starts where we can actually come back full force and we can talk mess every Tuesday. We can be your therapy session as well. This is the safe zone. You're in good hands with the safe zone.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
All right. Well, talk. See you in the chat.
I'll see you in the chat. Good night, everybody.
All right.
God bless.
Good night. Good night.